In this presentation, you will learn about the important topics required for the paper Evolution of Communication. This is an Fybammc paper. Here are some instructions. This video consists or is made up of the important questions for the Evolution of Communication paper. If you pay attention to this video, you will know exactly how to write your answer. This paper is of 3 credits, therefore of 60 marks. You may write the paper in your own words, so you don't have to stick to the words that are used here, but the meaning of your answers should make sense. When writing the paper, remember, write the question numbers and the options. For example, you're doing question 2, option B, clearly in the margin provided. If it's not clear, then when assessing, there will be a problem. Write your answers neatly, leaving enough space if you want to come back and add in a few points later. That is, if you have time. Also remember, every new main question should start on a new page. So if it's question 2, you started on a new page, you finish A, B, C, D, whatever you're answering. Question 3 on a new page, then continue with A, B, C, D. Question 4 on a new page. If you choose to start with question 5, you start with question 5, then move to question 1, then move to question 3. But every new question should be on a new page. Let us now look at the different types of questions that can be asked with the solution. So I'm giving you the answers also so that it's easier for you to remember and write in the exam. So if you are asked, for example, what is the significance of communication in human society and its evolution, or discuss the significance or the importance of communication, this is what you will write. So you can tell us that communication helps people share ideas, emotions, and knowledge. It helps build relationships and strengthens social bonds. So you become a social human being. Society develops through exchange of thoughts and cooperation. So when you help one another, you build a good society around you. Historically, we have cave paintings, which were the earliest form used to record hunting rituals. And you can use the example of Bhimbetka rock shelters from Madhya Pradesh. Oral communication was also followed in old times, where there were stories which were passed on from generation to generation. Songs, folk stories or folklore, preserved history like Panchatantra tales. It enabled or helped collective living, that means living together, sharing of culture, and growth of civilizations. In modern times, we have print, radio, TV, and now even social media, which helps us connect with people or communities around the world. The next question, if you're asked to define communication, explain the important elements of communication. So you will tell us that communication is the process of sharing information, ideas, and emotions between individuals or groups to create understanding. For example, I am currently communicating this answer to you through my YouTube video. Important elements. Firstly, the sender, the person who initiates the message. For example, a teacher giving instructions in class. The message, which is the information being shared. For example, class timings, project guidelines. Channel, the medium used, so spoken words, email, WhatsApp. Receiver, the person who gets the message, usually the students in this case. Feedback, response from the receiver. So the students reply saying thank you for this particular video because it is very helpful to us. Or if we have any doubts, we will ask you, ma'am. So feedback is very important. And noise, which you always make, is anything that distorts the message. So background noise, poor signal could affect the message from reaching the receiver effectively. What is the importance of communication in social and cultural development? So now, how is communication important in society and as part of culture. So it builds understanding among communities, helps share traditions, customs, and knowledge. For example, there are festivals that bring people together, like Diwali or Onam. They also spread cultural values through media, through word of mouth, encourages cooperation and social harmony, so there is peace. Communication in art, films, and media promotes Indian culture globally. So we are exposing our culture to the world through our art, through our films. It strengthens unity in diversity. So government campaigns like Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. So you can write this in your own words. These are the main pointers that I would expect in your paper. Development of writing systems and human progress. Now, writing made it possible to record knowledge permanently. It helped in governance, trade, and law. And you are also writing your paper so that we can grade you. So, therefore, writing is very important. Literacy encouraged education and intellectual growth. Indian scripts like Brahmi evolved into Devanagari script, Tamil, Bengali, etc. So written communication allowed the preservation, that means the saving of science, literature, and culture. Example, manuscripts in Nalanda University, which were centers of ancient learning. Today's digital writing, we have blogs, online journals, helps continue this legacy over the years so we can share our information with future generations. Define culture and its role in shaping communication. Now, firstly, you will define culture. So, what is culture? Culture is shared beliefs, values, traditions, and behaviors of a community. It decides how people greet, speak, and express. Now, in India, you all know touching elders' feet shows respect. Cultural background influences dress, gestures, tone, and even topics discussed. Now, if you remember when you all first joined college, we had this activity where we displayed our own cultural background. So you can tell us something about your culture in this particular answer. Cross-cultural understanding improves communication between diverse groups. Barriers to communication. I usually ask for two or three. So you can give me any that you know. I've just mentioned three here. Language barrier. Different languages cause misunderstanding. So a Hindi speaking student may misinterpret a lecture given in Tamil or in English. Technological barrier. Poor network or technical glitches affect messages. For example, online class disruption during network failure. Cultural barrier. Different customs and gestures could be misunderstood. For example, the namaste or the folding of hands may confuse non-Indians who are unfamiliar with this kind of a greeting. Basic communication theories. Lasswell's model. So we have Harold Lasswell, who defined communication as who says what, in which channel, to whom, with what effect. And I've given you the meanings right at the side of it. So therefore, for example, the government announces Swachh Bharat campaign through television and social media to citizens, resulting in cleaner habits. Now, his model was useful for studying media impact and audience response. Shannon and Weaver model of communication was developed in 1949, which views communication as a linear process. So accordingly, sender to encoder to channel to decoder to receiver. Noise forms any disturbance. For example, online lecture, the teacher who is the sender encodes a message and sends it through a channel, so sends a message via Zoom. The student who's the receiver understands the message. Sometimes there may be background noise which distorts clarity. Teacher uses Google Meet to explain a topic to the students. Highlights: noise could lead to poor audio quality. This stresses importance of feedback and clear channel. What is the role of group communication in shaping public opinion online? Groups on social media like your WhatsApp group, Telegram groups, Allow for discussions on various issues, including public issues. You all discuss class issues. Online communities help spread awareness. For example, hashtag Save Soil, hashtag Chandrayaan 3 campaigns. Influencers and student groups form opinions through posts and comments. Hopefully, you all will comment. Digital groups can mobilize action. For example, college cleanliness drive or college blood donation drive. We also have to remember that fake news or echo chambers can also mislead people in group communication. Impact of globalization on cultural communication. Globalization connects people across nations through trade, media, and the internet. This leads to cultural exchange. So, Indian youth nowadays watch K dramas while outsiders enjoy Bollywood. English becomes a common medium online. So, if it's not in the English language, you will get the English subtitles, which help you understand things in other languages. Sometimes causes cultural blending or loss of traditional practices. For example, fusion festivals, we lose out on the typical cultural festival. Global fashion trends among the youth, where the youth no more dress in the traditional garments, but now wear fusion outfits. Evolution of language and dialects. So, language evolved from sound and symbols to structured speech. Early humans used signs and then developed words. Tribes migrated from one place to the other, and therefore there were regional dialects which were formed. So we have Bhojpuri, Haryanvi, Rajasthani, etc. India has 22 official languages, over 100 dialects showing diversity. Today we have technology, for example, AI translators or Google Translate, which now help bridge dialect gaps. Language contribution to personal and national identity. So, mother tongue shapes identity. So, every individual has their own mother tongue. Regional languages unite communities. So, Maharashtrians are proud of Marathi. National identity strengthened by Hindi and multilingual unity. For example, in the independence era, speeches in Indian languages inspired patriotism. Language preservation led to cultural preservation. Language is a living system that evolves with society. New words and slang emerge with changing lifestyles. So we keep adding new words to our language. Technology adds terms like selfie, reel, DMs. Indian English includes words like prepone or eve teasing. All this reflects social changes, globalization, and modern youth culture. So, language adapts continuously, and that is the proof that it is alive. So, language is a live system, a living system, and it is growing along with the society. Role of writing systems in preserving human history. Writing helped store knowledge permanently. Ancient scripts like the Brahmi, Tamil, Sanskrit recorded culture and science. Ashoka's inscriptions show early moral codes. Documents like the Constitution of India preserve modern history. Writing keeps cultural identity alive for future generations. Language is a mirror of culture. Language reflects traditions, beliefs, and values. Songs, folk tales, proverbs show cultural wisdom. Sanskrit texts preserve Indian philosophy. Punjabi songs reflect celebration. Cultural changes influence new slang and expressions. Hence, language evolves as culture evolves. Connection between language and social identity. Language identifies a person's region, class, and culture. For example, Marathi in Maharashtra, Tamil in Tamil Nadu symbolize pride. Students feel connected when using the mother tongue. Accent or vocabulary reflects education and background. Regional languages strengthen belonging and identity. Language diversity strengthens communication in multicultural societies. So we know that India has a lot of cultures and a lot of languages. So India has a multilingual nature and it encourages unity in diversity. People learn tolerance and inclusivity by knowing other languages. So you may not be from Maharashtra, but you still know Marathi. Regional films, news, and literature enhance or make culture better to understand. OTT platforms promote different languages like Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, and Bengali content all over the world. Language diversity helps global cooperation and cultural richness. Culture influences language, gestures, and nonverbal communication. We all know by now that language reflects culture. So therefore you have little regional idioms, regional greetings, regional proverbs which are quite popular with the locals. The way we behave through our gestures can be different. Nodding could mean yes or no in different areas. Using the namaste instead of a handshake, both are greetings but are different in different cultures. Dress codes, personal space, and eye contact are also different in different cultures. Misunderstandings can occur in intercultural communication if these are not understood. Evolution of language and dialects. Language evolved from sounds and symbols to structured speech. Early humans used signs and then developed words. As tribes migrated, regional dialects formed. For example, from Hindi, we have Bhojpuri, Haryanvi, Rajasthani. India has 22 official languages, 100 plus dialects, showing diversity. Technology, AI translators, Google Translate now help bridge dialect gaps. Role of communication in building human relationships. Helps people express emotions and build trust. Communication is very important in families, in friendships, and at workplaces. Students can resolve misunderstandings through an honest conversation. It encourages empathy and cooperation. Miscommunication can break relationships, so it is important to be very clear. Digital tools like calls, messages now help maintain long distance bonds. So it's easier for us to keep in touch with people who are far away through digital means. Journey of communication from prehistoric to modern times. So in the old times, prehistoric times, we have cave paintings and symbols. I can explain a little bit about Bhimbetka caves. Then in the oral stage was storytelling, songs and chants which were preserved over the years through culture. Then we had writing systems, scripts like Brahmi, Devanagari helped to keep records. We then saw the development of the printing press with the coming of the Portuguese, and this made education as well as printing of newspapers possible. In the electronic age, we saw the coming of the radio, the television, which helped spread mass communication. And now we have the digital age where we have internet, WhatsApp, AI, and social media revolutionized interaction, which is quick and instant. Let us look at defining culture and explaining how it shapes communication behavior. Firstly, we define culture, shared values, traditions, beliefs, and practices of a group. Culture decides communication style, gestures, and language. Greeting elders with namaste in India shows respect. Western culture prefers direct speech. Indian culture values politeness. Dress, tone, and nonverbal cues differ across cultures. How cultural barriers lead to miscommunication. Different meanings for gestures or words across cultures, like we already discussed, the thumbs up means approval in India but may be rude in some other country. Language differences can cause confusion. Stereotyping or assumptions lead to wrong understanding. Overcoming barriers requires one to be very sensitive towards a culture and to listen actively. Role of language in expressing thoughts and emotions. Language allows people to express feelings, ideas, and opinions. Your words, tone, and style reflect emotions like joy. If you're happy, it shows in your voice. If you're angry, that also shows in your voice. And if you're sad, your voice will sound very dull. Indian poetry or songs express love and devotion. Language helps people connect emotionally and socially. It also improves clarity in communication and relationships. Group communication. Exchange of ideas among three or more people for a common purpose is called as group communication. It is important because it helps improve teamwork and helps solve all kinds of problems. For example, college project group planning via your WhatsApp group can be quite chaotic if people are not willing to adjust and accommodate to each other's timings. Group communication helps build leadership and decision-making skills. It encourages sharing diverse opinions and collaboration. Role of communication in solving conflicts or problems. So, communicating openly reduces misunderstanding. Listening and empathy, showing that you care, resolves problems. Classroom disputes resolved through discussion, and sometimes there is need for teacher to also mediate. Encourages respect and understanding, and helps maintain harmony in families, workplaces, and communities. So, therefore, communication plays a very important role in solving problems. Artificial intelligence or AI and its application in communication or its role in modern communication. So, we all know of AI, machines performing intelligent human like tasks. Applications, there are chatbots, virtual assistants, speech to text tools. For example, ChatGPT used by students for summaries, Siri for voice commands. This helps automate customer replies, language translation, and social media analytics. It saves time and enhances communication efficiency. You can put down your own thoughts about AI here. Technological advancement transforming modern communication. From letters to emails, social media, and AI assistants. For example, use of ChatGPT, Canva, or Zoom for classwork, for your projects, etc. It helps increase speed so you save time and is accessible. Enables global communication but can be tiring and causes screen fatigue. Balancing digital and personal communication is very important. Social media changing interpersonal communication. We have already been seeing shifts from face to face to online interaction. It builds virtual friendships and communities. For example, students sharing reels and stories to express emotions. It promotes creativity but reduces personal connection. How digital communication impacts group interactions. Groups use Zoom, WhatsApp, Telegram for collaboration. Easy sharing of updates and ideas. For example, students doing group presentations on Google Docs. However, there's a risk. Misunderstanding in tone or over reliance on texting can be problematic. It is effective when combined with face to face meetings. Psychological impact of digital addiction. Overuse of screens, or your mobile phone for that matter, leads to stress and anxiety. Reels reduce your attention span and your real world interaction. So you tend to live in a virtual world. Students tend to spend hours on Instagram Reels instead of studying. And that's why I have to prepare a video on importance for them. Sleep problems due to excessive mobile use. There is always a need for digital detox and screen time balance. Impact of digital platforms on youth communication habits. Youth have now stopped talking, so they prefer texting over talking. Social media trends influence speech, so we are more engrossed in memes than in real life. For example, college students using Instagram Reels for creative expression creates global awareness but also short attention spans. Balance between online and real world communication is very important. Technology influencing interpersonal and mass communication. Interpersonal communication is simply video calls, emojis, chats, which are now replacing letters, emails, etc. On the mass media level, you have YouTube, digital news platforms which reach millions instantly. YouTubers or influencers shape opinions like news anchors. It blurs the line between personal and public communication. Advantages and disadvantages of digital communication. The advantages are it is fast, cheap, and has a global reach. For example, Zoom. You can have a meeting anywhere across the globe. Enables remote work and learning. So you can have hybrid education where you can learn new courses, certifications online from international universities. It is interactive. You can put down your comments, you can share likes, make video calls. However, there are also disadvantages. There is a risk of fake news or data theft. It reduces face-to-face interaction and can lead to addiction and distraction among students. Internet and social media transforming communication. Instant sharing through WhatsApp, Instagram, and X, which was Twitter earlier. It enables online learning and virtual meetings. Students attend lectures via Google Meet during exams or holidays. Real-time updates on news and global events. Promotes both connectivity and misinformation risk. You can put whatever examples you want in your paper. I will be happy to read them. Cyberbullying. Using digital platforms to threaten or insult someone. For example, spreading fake rumors on social media. This impacts mental health and is punishable under Indian IT laws. Online ethics, using the internet responsibly, respect privacy, avoid plagiarism, and verify your sources. So don't just copy paste matter, but check if the source of the matter is true and genuine, and then you can use the matter, giving credit to the person who has written the matter. Promote kindness and truth online. Hate speech. Hate speech targets people based on religion, gender, or race. It affects mental health and confidence. Now, on the legal side, Indian IT Act Section 66A and the new Digital Safety Bill draft can make hate speech punishable. Strategies to promote healthy digital communication. Set screen time limits. Use social media mindfully and positively. Verify the news before sharing. Practice empathy in online discussions. Take regular digital breaks and engage in offline hobbies. For example, students joining digital detox challenges in colleges. Wishing each one of you all the best in the exam. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topics you would like to learn more about.